Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening everyone, and thanks for joining us. A Campania man who struck and killed his partner with a car will spend 13 years behind bars after pleading guilty to manslaughter. But he could walk free in 6 years. Her family now calling for tougher sentencing laws.
Holding her close to their heart, Jackie Bergman's family remembering her as a light of their lives.
She was free and had no fear, and to be taken like that is just not.
The family shattered when Jackie was killed by her former partner.
She was more than a case file.
But that grief even harder today when they found out her killer, James Austin, could walk free in 6 years. This afternoon sentenced to 13 years in prison with a non-parole period of 8 years.
I'm not going to stand here and say that that was enough. Jackie's truth will be told.
The mother of 4 died in March 2023 after being fatally struck by a car driven by Mr Austin, who last month pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Justice Brett telling the court Mr Austin drove at Miss Bergman with an aim to intimidate, threaten, frighten and assert dominance over her, describing his actions as callous and cold-blooded. Throughout sentencing, the court heard injuries caused to her body included a fractured pelvis, lacerations to the lungs, a broken and almost amputated foot. During impact statements, relatives expressed identifying her bruised and battered body was traumatic. Jackie's family says their fight is far from over and they will now push for tougher domestic violence laws, hoping her legacy will live on and spark change.
Pushing for Jackie's Law, which will protect motor vehicle victims and ensure that if someone dies by a motor vehicle driven by a current or former partner, that they are actually prosecuted and charged with murder. She won't be forgotten. Not at all.
Rebecca Gadanera, 7 Tasmania News.
As the Liberals continue to spruik their state-owned insurance company, heavyweights of the industry are raising doubts. The RACT and the sector's peak body are concerned it could set the state back billions of dollars.
Keeping the shelves in order is a constant challenge for many small businesses. High insurance premiums is one of many cost burdens biting them hard.
Restricts what we can do with reinvesting in the business.
Insurance is about the fourth, and sometimes it's the third largest expense after wages and electricity. This is a huge impost.
Shopping Tazinsure around for a second day, the Premier insists it will help both store owners and customers save.
This is a commitment that touches the lives of just about every single Tasmanian. Cost of living, cost of doing business.
While welcomed by several business groups,
it will provide a much more competitive base for insurance.
It would certainly go into the mix for consideration for sure.
Tasmania's largest insurer is questioning the move.
Why would you invent a new insurance company from scratch when you've already got a wholly owned Tasmanian insurance company right here looking after Tasmanians already?
The sector's peak interest group believes it could prove costly.
The Insurance Council is very concerned about this announcement that it would expose Tasmanian taxpayers potentially hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of liabilities in the event of a large-scale extreme weather event.
Cost of living relief was also Labor's focus again, who will give community group Loaves and Fishes more than $5 million over 5 years.
This is an organisation that provides emergency food relief to 16,000 Tasmanians per week, and this will lock in funding for them into the long term. Though the Liberals say they already allocated more than $7 million towards food security in this year's budget.
We're incredibly appreciative of any government that is willing to support the consistent supply of dignified food relief.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
The axe has fallen on a dozen teaching staff as the University of Tasmania restructures several faculties to cut costs. It's blaming tough financial times, but students aren't happy.
Like many of us these days, the University of Tasmania is tightening its belt.
Declining student numbers, and this is not just an issue at the University of Tasmania, it's an issue nationally in some of our areas, mean that we have needed to make some really difficult choices.
Education and law remain unchanged, while arts, humanities and social sciences merge into one school, and a new conservatorium of music is created.
By having a combined School of Humanities and Social Sciences, we will be able to provide a more coherent offering in the Bachelor of Arts for our students.
It means 12 full-time teaching roles will go by the end of the month.
In these redundancies for staff, we see areas of UTAS staff who are already overworked, underpaid, under-resourced.
Even prior to this afternoon's confirmation, there's been broad opposition to the changes, and a perceived focus on the arts isn't music to the ears of students.
It's not just about the idealistic value of the arts. We are dependent on courses like tourism in this state. So cutting the senior lecturer is just nonsensical.
That consultation process has been genuine, it's been sincere, and we will continue and are committed to continuing to work with our students and our staff.
But as Tasmania's only university, many argue its role is too important to be subject to financial cuts.
Everyone is talking about how we've got this big mass exodus of young people leaving. You know, the answer's right here. Just fund the arts.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
The community is rallying behind a Howrah family who lost everything after a fire tore through their double-storey unit on Tuesday night. The blaze engulfed and gutted the Clifford Court home, with a 30-year-old man and his elderly parents forced to flee. A GoFundMe page has been set up by a family friend, so far raising over $2,000 to help them get back on their feet. The cause of the blaze is still being determined. Dark mofo may be over for another year, but the vibe is still lingering. Taking inspiration from the festival's colourful displays, keen photographers have snapped up prizes in the popular Paint the Town Red competition. This year's overall winner coming from outside Hobart, this photo of Oatlands Callington Mill taking top spot.
It's such a pretty scene and it's very quiet, it's very serene, and it just looks beautiful with the stars behind it.
Particularly pleasing for us because it means that Paint the Town Red and the effects of dark mofo spread out into regional Tasmania.
Judges sifted through more than 700 entries to find the best. As demand continues to put pressure on Tasmania's health system, the Greens are pushing for major funding commitments. The party's backing calls by the state's peak medical group for a new hospital in Hobart and want $55 million for a planning unit to look into it.
It's clear that we need a vision for the future when it comes to hospital and healthcare in Tasmania, because the facilities we have at the moment simply can't keep up.
The Greens also want to bolster health services and training in the state's north, with more than $26 million to fund a range of initiatives.
These needs have all been known for quite some time, and the time is now to invest the money into these services.
The party says funding for Macquarie Point Stadium should be going towards building up the state's health sector instead. The world's smallest chef is bringing dinner at a show to Tasmania. In a state first, Hobart's Leatherwood Bar and Kitchen playing host to Leati Chef, whose adventures are projected directly onto diners' plates and tables.
A new chef is causing a stir in Tasmania's culinary scene. The thing about this one, he's only 6 centimetres tall.
Bonjour, bienvenue.
Leati Chef offering diners a rather unique experience.
Live 3D mapping show that projects from the ceiling above.
The Leati Chef takes you on a little journey of he's either fending off icebreakers, or he's putting out fires, or he's fending off an octopus, and all those little animated features are then connected then into the food.
Don't let his stature fool you. He's graced over 100 kitchens around the world, from Berlin to London to Tokyo. Now he's setting up shop at Leatherwood in Hobart's Hilton Hotel, and he's taking a liking to everything the Apple Isle provides.
We have a see-through broth with all Tasmanian seafood, local chicken marinated with native herbs and spices, and Valhalla ice cream as well to really tick those boxes.
With his Tassie debut just a week away, his antics are already proving popular.
So the first 2 months have sold out actually, so we're fully booked for those 2 months, but we still have plenty of space towards September, October, so it's an exciting time.
And if you want to dine with this tiny troublemaker, he'll be cooking up a storm here every Thursday through Saturday until January.
Yeah, definitely the smallest chef I've ever worked with, but very animated and very fun, and It's just a great, unique dining experience.
Billy Gibbons, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, there was chaos for early morning traffic in Sandy Bay. A burst water main flooding the intersection of Sandy Bay Road and Wayne Avenue. Taswater worked through much of the morning to repair the damage. The gushing torrent left some gaping holes on Wayne Avenue. A record crowd is expected to sign up for this year's Cancer Council 5-kilometre run walk on September 14 in Launceston. 200 people registering in the first hour this morning for the event, which does much more than just raise money for a good cause.
Physical activity and how we look after ourselves is a really important way to reduce the risk of a cancer diagnosis. So it's also an opportunity to raise some awareness and have conversations.
I think it's just a really fun atmosphere. It's a bit of a celebration. It's quite festive.
There's a 40% discount for those who register before tomorrow.
The SFL might have come out of the Rep Series on top, but this weekend we're about to learn whether the South's Community League can keep it up against the NTFA's Div 1, as both leagues pit their best men and women against each other.
Every day it's just a surprise.
I think in rep footy, the team that gels together the best is the team that's going to win, and we've really tried to become a close group. We've had obviously our 4 training sessions, and we all caught up at Kingston Beach for a bit of a recovery session and a coffee on Sunday.
It's been good to get to know the opposition we face week in and week out, and get to train with them and actually realise they're good people.
They meet in Campbelltown from midday Saturday. Cricket fans will be able to enjoy 5 home games this season, including the traditional New Year's Day clash, as the full Big Bash fixture is released today. It opens with a rematch of the decider against Sydney Thunder, rounding out the season at home against the Brisbane Heat in mid-January. Jacob Furphy again top scored for the Emus as they move to the quarterfinals in basketball's Under-19 World Cup. The Smithton product shooting 24 points as the Aussies held off Dominican Republic to win 106-96 in Switzerland. They face Germany tomorrow night for a ticket to the semi. And the top 3 spots are all but locked in with just 2 weeks left in the TNL's regular season. The fight for 4th heating up with Devon and Cripps just 2 points apart.
This is the first time in many years that the 3rd and 4th, especially in Opens, will be decided on by the last round.
And in the Under-19s, Grana is sitting outside finals contention, but their last home game could shake up the competition with a chance to relegate Kingston to 4th place.
Kingston are a very competitive side, and we've got a few players back now from injury, so hopefully we can bring it up to them and have a really competitive last home match.
It gets underway at 4 o'clock this Saturday at the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre. And that is your night in sport, Kim.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Well, Kaya will join us after the break with the weather.
Good evening. It was 11 in Hobart today, 13 in Launceston and Burnie, and 12 in Devonport. The Islands and Strawn all 14. 13 in Smithton, Low Head, St Helens and Friendly Beaches all 12. 11 in Ouse, Grove 10 and 4 in Lyweni. High clouds streamed over the state from the east as low cloud lingered about central and eastern parts. Persistent onshore wind is producing areas of cloud and rain about eastern Victoria, Tasmania and southeastern New South Wales. Tomorrow the high moves over the eastern seaboard, maintaining a ridge to the south of the state as the trough shifts to the south of the bight. North-northwesterly winds across all coastal waters tomorrow, increasing to 25 knots in the west, southwesterly swells peaking to 2.5 metres in eastern waters. A fine and mostly sunny 13 degrees in Hobart as we welcome Friday. Sunny after a morning frost in Huonville and Campania, both 14. Frosty 2 in Launceston, 13, -1 the overnight low. A little cloudy in Devonport and Georgetown, 12's the top. 13 are possible showers in Launceston and Wynyard, a fine day in Strawn, 14 the maximum. But the east is the place to be tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine in St Helens and Swansea, 14. Fine 2 in Port Arthur with 13 degrees. Now, as winter temperatures continue to plummet, we can expect frosty and foggy conditions for the next 3 mornings, so rug up and travel safely. Light showers will fall about the north and west on Saturday. Now, they're likely to ease during the afternoon. Light showers extend to the east on Sunday afternoon, and on Monday, light showers continue about the east, developing about the west throughout the day. We'll take a look now to mainland conditions for tomorrow. Canberra are also in for a morning frost too, 13, sunny in Sydney and Brisbane, 19 and partly cloudy in Perth. Partly cloudy too across the state. Hobart 8 degrees, 7 in Launceston, but just 5 in Devonport. That's all from me tonight, Kim.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. I'm being told that is all we have time for, so good night, everyone.